And all right, there it is. Greetings. Hope you're well. I'm going to talk about minute by minute today. The intro only. We may get into the tune another time, but the intro is what we're going to discuss today of Minute by Minute, the song made famous by Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers. Excuse me. So I wrote it all out for you here, so you can take a look at that. What's happening? Let me give it a little explanation. This is a 10-chord movement. This is what happens here. 10 chords in a progression that loops around 3 times. And it starts with the D minor, as you can see there in red. Does it over here again and right there again. And then we get into the tune right here. So what this does is loop around 3 times, as I said. And notice how the D minor is on the first beat of this 12/8 measure. And it's at the 5th beat over here in the 2nd measure. And at the 3rd beat over here in the 4th measure. So it's 5 measures of 12/8. If you listen to some of the live recordings, you can hear them counting it off in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it has that 12/8 feel. Dot, 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 the triplets. So we've got here are triplets. So it's a 10-chord progression that uses 7 chords. It loops around 3 times. So the chords used are the F major 7. I'm sorry, just the F major triad. My mistake. Uses a first inversion and a second inversion. It uses a C major triad, root position, and a first inversion. So it's uses 2 chords there. Only 1 inversion actually, root position and first inversion. So scratch that. A B diminished chord. It actually uses also an A minor chord is used twice. The second inversion and the first inversion. A G major chord used once. An E diminished chord, an inversion of that or a rearrangement of the spelling. And also an A diminished chord, a rearrangement of the spelling on that particular chord. The E diminished, of course, is connected to the C sharp diminished chord up here. Oh, da, 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 right at the right here, coming out of it begins the cycle. So the last chord in the cycle is that C sharp diminished, but there's an E diminished chord that's inverted and used there. The A diminished chord, the A diminished chord is connected to the F sharp diminished 7th chord. Now remember, 7th chords use 2 triads. So we have an F diminished, I'll just spell that for you, is F sharp, A, and C. You're looking at it on your keyboard, hopefully you are. And the part of the chord that's being used up top there is an E flat, A, and a C. And that's the order of the chord, but that's also an A diminished chord. So we've got a combination of 2 chords there. Actually 2 diminished chords. An F sharp diminished chord and an A diminished chord. And that together makes an F sharp diminished 7th chord. And we've got 2 of those. We also have a G sharp diminished 7th chord. That consists of 2 triads. The G sharp diminished itself as well as the B diminished. And you'll see that as we pointed it out to you down here at the bottom. That's what it uses. And the bass note only is in the G sharp diminished chord. So we've got some slash chords going on here. Here's how the duplicates work. I have a C major chord there with an E in the bass and a C major chord again with a G in the bass. So not 2 different chords, just 2 different bass notes in the chord there, which are also in the part of the spelling of the chord. C, E, G, just putting the 3rd in the bass and then the 5th in the bass. Similar thing happens with the A minor. You can look at it theoretically if you wanted to. A is in the bass here for that particular chord. And the C6 is really an A minor chord with a C in the bass. A root position C6 kind of thing. I'm going to demonstrate that here in a minute. So that's what we've got there. So really just 7 chords, not 10. That kind of simplifies things. So let's kind of take a listen to it one more time and then I'll demonstrate for you. Here we go. Get that up. Yeah, so it cycles around 3 times. Let's get into the chords here. So part of the Alan Cook brand is that, hey man, sometimes we just don't do any editing. We just get right into this thing and make it happen. So I'm going to come around to the piano here, set it all up. Yes, indeed. So the purpose of the inversions, obviously, is to harmonize the melody. So we've got that melody going on. Ba 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 and it gets us into the tune right there. So it kind of goes around here like that. So you hear the melody and then it starts over again. So the D minor chord is actually a D minor 7th chord. Remember, 7th chords consist of 2 triads. It's important to know the triads. So D minor we know as D minor F, D, F, and A as a triad. The 7th would be the C. Now we have 2 triads, a D minor and an F major. So to honor that melody, we have to invert the F chord up to here to make sure we have that F on top. So that's the first inversion F. Here's a root position C chord with the G in the melody. Now here's our second inversion F chord with the A. See that? And here's our famous F sharp diminished chord. There's the A diminished triad on top, A, C, and E flat, and F, A, and C for that part of it. So two diminished triads together to make a 7th, a F sharp diminished 7th. So we've got that. And here's our first inversion C, the other slash chord with the root, with the 5th in the bass. G sharp diminished. Here's our B diminished triad in root position. I'm going to rearrange the spelling of that particular one. And we got the first inversion there with the G sharp in the bass. A minors. Second inversion A minor there. Moving on up. Second inversion G. And here's our C6 again. We got it from here to there. See? Just changing the bass note. Same 3 notes. A, C, E, C, E, A, and C. Get to that, and that then brings us to our C sharp diminished. Again, the spelling of that: C sharp, E, G, and B flat. There's our E diminished. We can invert that, invert it, and rearrange the spelling of it, as it were. And I say 7th chords or diminished 7th chords can't be inverted because they're all minor thirds. But you take one of them, you can do that. Now the interval changes here from the B flat area up to the E. We got a flat 5 kind of thing going on. Okay? Okay? So check that out again. We'll play the audio again. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So we got 5 measures. Either way you count it, even if you counted it in 4, it's 5 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2. This is for the tick. Tune. So either way you count it, it's going to come out basically 5 measures up front like that. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Hey, don't you worry, I've been lied to. Okay, now in the middle of the tune, coming out of the chorus, I'll be holding on, baby. Only twice now. Call my name, I'll be gone. You reach out and I won't be there, oh baby. Just my lucky real life. And on and on and on. We won't get to the rest of it. It's pretty much the same. But we never do this progression in another key. It's only in this key. Oh, thanks. Thank God for that, right? Have to be transposed and remember all that kind of stuff. But hopefully that was helpful for you for the intro to Minute by Minute. Yeah, so enjoy yourself learning that. Just get those inversions under your hands and see the chords where they need to go, and you'll be swinging this thing in no time. All right, Alan Cook here. Be well. Talk to you soon.